somebody comes through and sees an animal that I've been watching and I've been interested in, or I knew that animal out in the field and I knew it got picked up, and I really want to claim that animal and adopt that animal, no charge. We ask that you get it spayed and neutered in our mobile vet and vaccinated, and we believe that you've studied this decision.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, I was just wanting to know, today's like the 27th, and I heard Mr. Langford there say to this gentleman that he would like to talk to Brittany Pittman. Right now, it seems like no matter what anybody here's saying, nothing's going to get done. It's already finished, done, slammed down.
As far as I'm concerned, May 1st, I'll be the new director of animal
So
control.
and nobody don't care what no matter what says it here. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Ma'am, I didn't have anything to do with the prior administration. I know that we're going to take this animal shelter forward, and we've got some forward thinkers, and we're going to try to set the bar high. In the back?
Yeah, woman in the back.
I'm George Bannon. I live in Murray County. I have all of my life. Y'all seem to be talking about adoption and that. I'm concerned about the strays.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what I am
Yes,
interested
ma'am.
in, because I keep my dog up and other
Yes,
dogs
ma'am.
come in my yard too and all that.
Yes, ma'am. Murray County has laws. I've read the ordinance.
And the other people that was in here, I'm for the sheriff taking over. The other people was in here, last night, kind of like this gentleman over here. I was stressed out from my high blood pressure, my diabetes, because the dogs next door kept me awake all night long for 4 nights. These people would not do that.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I had to go to court. So I'm wanting the sheriff to take over.
I look forward to working with you.
Your neighbor now has got dogs on
You
his
call, give us time. This isn't going to be a quick process, but I look forward to coming out in the field and working with you.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you.
Yes,
Hey,
ma'am.
Diane, I'm Karen Coulter. I worked with you a few years ago. My question is, how is this going to come together? You don't have, I mean, everybody's gone. It's like, a line. Yesterday it was done this way. Tomorrow,
Let me give you my background. I was giving you my background.
No, I know,
No,
but
no.
I'm just, you don't have any help. I mean,
We do. We do. Oh, we have a plan.
We're still working on
Well,
volunteers.
88% euthanasia is not necessarily a plan.
Where did you get that?
The statistics for Whitfield.
We
Why
just
just
quoted
Whitfield?
100%, and then you
Wait,
talk
wait,
about
wait.
adoptions.
Wait, just a minute. Why'd you put an 88% euthanasia rate on me? Have you asked me? Have we sat down and spoke about this?
Well, why don't you tell us?
The numbers from Whitfield.
This is not Whitfield County. I have a new administration. I have an administration that wants to use the tools and develop new tools to help the animal overpopulation problem.
Which is what tools? The Humane Society. My name's Paula Johnson. I've worked with the Humane Society.
Great. I look forward to
I would use our Facebook page to get as many adoptions as we can for the animals that are in our care. And it takes every ounce of time that I have, that our members have, just to handle the amount of emails that we get.
Okay.
So what you're saying is you want to take your program and all of the paid employees that have now been dismissed and turn all of that over to a volunteer organization that's already tapped out financially and by every single volunteer that we possibly have, and you want us to take over the job of the animal shelter for adopting out.
He didn't really say the Humane Society to take over.
But you said that one of the only organizations that can pull would be the Humane Society.
a licensed rescue.
And you want for us to, you said that we have more license to do the adoption checks, that we have more license to deny, so that you want to sit down with every person who walks through the door.
I don't have that much time.
Well, neither do we. Or the fund.
What I've got to tell you first is I have to be responsible to the citizens of Murray County. I have to
I'm a
provide,
citizen of Murray,
and I want to be responsible to you. I have to provide animal control in all aspects. I have to address the stray nuisance problem. I have to address those animals that come in through owner give-ups, who they just decide to turn them in and say, you do something with it. My plate's full. Your plate's full.
What might be the new plan then for addressing the overpopulation? Because that is one of the key things
All right,
with addressing this. And
I
one
wonder-
mobile spay, which we've tried unsuccessfully to have a mobile spay. There's one available in
Let her
Atlanta.
ask hers.
They come here.
I don't know about the previous administration, what they've been doing. if they've been going out and enforcing the animal at large laws, the vaccination laws, the cruelty and nuisance laws. I don't know if they have been doing that. In Whitfield County, now that's what I'm trying to build on. We use a lot out in the field of tools is trying to find that animal's owner, spending more time out in the field trying to find that animal's owner. If I can find that animal's owner, I can do two things. I can educate them, or if they just absolutely refuse, I can cite them and send them to court. That's a process. It's in the works. We've spoken with the county administrator, and she loved the idea to possibly bring up a breeder's law that says if you have an animal, and this is what Gary's doing, if you have an intact animal in Murray County, you're going to have to be registered as a breeder. That's forward thinking. We're going to try to make the people using the service pay for the service. We cannot rescue ourselves out of this problem.
You gotta go by law.
We have to go by law.
And what was your kill rate in Whitfield County?
Whitfield County's kill rate was running about 92%, and that is down from 100. But let me tell you what. I followed policies and procedures for Whitfield County, just like I will follow policies and procedures for Murray County. The commissioners in Whitfield County did not choose to be proactive measures. I've come in here and the county administrator and the county sheriff has said, we want to be proactive. We want to address the animal overpopulation law. I believe that will start with a breeder's law. We've got to start somewhere. We're no different from up north. If they can do it up north, Murray County, Georgia can do it. Is that?
A 92% kill rate does answer my question. Yes, thank you.
How many animals did you pull from Whitfield last year?
I don't live in Whitfield.
Well, I mean, then give me a break.
And you don't allow private adoptions in Whitfield. I'm sorry. I think you already answered that.
This is not Whitfield County, okay? In an ideal world, every dog, every cat, every bird, every lizard would have a home. This is not an ideal world. You irresponsible people who don't take care of their animals, who don't spay and neuter, there's too many. Can we cut it down to zero? No, we can't. Because of those same irresponsible people. We can do the best that we can.
I am. I want us to be, I think over time.
In our lifetime?
I think over time that when we instigate the laws, the breeder's laws, and we get a hold of our problem, when we start to make it.
If your dog is bred,
No, if you're found with an intact animal on your property, if I go to your property and you have a female puppy, you're either gonna be registered as a breeder, or the fine will be to have them spayed or neutered.
but you can't just go to houses and say,
If I have if it's picked up and it's intact, I can surely address that problem then.
Right, okay. See that right there?
We-
Every person that is not licensed as a breeder needs to be.
Stop reacting. Start being proactive.
A mobile pet, what was Emily Felker, because.
Just a minute, that wasn't Emily Felker. I talked to a lady from Texas who has a million.
Because I am from Murray County, we had a cash one, but it's before, I know you're taking full responsibility on May 1st, but did you in any way train with them prior to this to know how we run it, or you're just coming in, cut and dry, and going from there?
My credentials
I know what your credentials,
got my job.
but did you do any training with the people that work, to see how it works, that maybe some of yours and some of ours who told me?
All right, I'm a nationally certified animal control officer. I'm a nationally certified animal cruelty investigator. I'm mandated through the Georgia Peace Officers Association. I'm certified in euthanasia. Do I know 100% right and wrong as far as animal control goes? No, but I've been in it long enough to know that we're gonna have to use the tools.
But what you're not answering my question. What I'm saying is, you had rules over there, and you've got rules that you're bringing with you. But would it not have been better for both parties for you to work with them to see, Jimmy, you got all the certifications, but that does not mean you do not make errors. So could you not
That wasn't up to me, ma'am. That wasn't up to me. That wasn't up to me.
I may have a little knowledge that you wouldn't have yet. Those 4 people are still here in the county. Those 4 people are not moving away unless they choose to. They're not leaving our employment. Let me finish. They're not leaving our employment unless they choose to. So, whether they work at, the sheriff's office, or the jail, or 911, or the senior center, or wherever they end up, they'll still be a resource that, Ms. Franklin can call.
This man right here is holding out.
Thank you.
My name's Jeff Howard. I'm with Angels Among Us Pet Rescue. And, I'm from Kennesaw, but Angels Among Us is all over. We're the largest volunteer-based pet rescue in the Southeast. And we pull many, many, many dogs from Murray County. In fact, right now, in our own home, we have 5 of your dogs that we put through surgeries, we're rehabbing, and we're putting out for adoption.
Thank you.
So we're very intimate with what you're doing at the shelter, and we do appreciate the proactive approach that you're contemplating in terms of shutting down these breeders, because that is a major source. Spay-neuter is obviously another thing that we need to focus on. But I did want to go over some of the published facts that have come out in the newspaper and kind of go over that a little bit, just to kind of get that on record, if you don't mind. Not rumors, not attacks, but just the published facts that we have here. And we just kind of want to understand, through this transition period, how we're going to be able to maintain some of these metrics. And so the first thing is, I kind of summarized several quotes that Ms. Pittman said in some of the newspapers. She said, the amount of money spent on animal control will not change. So this must not be about money. The mandated officer is better equipped to handle certain situations, which we've discussed here. We can better utilize inmate labor, okay, which is different from the passionate labor that we've got now. It's more the dispassionate labor. Yes.
I have been intimately involved in training these girls in sanitation techniques.
Yes.
And if we do not, we have very low disease rates. If we do not have trained people doing the sanitation, cleaning animals, and you send these dogs out to rescue, and you kill the dogs that they got already up there, you ain't gonna get no more dogs into any of these rescues, and they're gonna write their friends, don't take any out of Murray County because the rescue. And I don't see prisoners as qualified for process and health sanitation.
Because they don't follow the law anyway. When the shelter first opened, we had a huge amount of parvo, and I think even some distemper. You couldn't, to put a puppy in the shelter was almost certain death, because it was gonna get sick.
Our last parvo
They improved that much.
Our last parvo pool cost us personally $3,500. The last 3 dogs that we've done, over $7,000. Now, we're glad to make that donation to save these animals. That's how passionate we are. But the final quote that I have is, the change won't affect the kill rate at all. And that's according to Ms. Pittman. Now, let me go over some of the metrics that we have today, because it sounds like not a lot of research was done with this particular shelter and trying to understand why.
We have always been built 70 years.
Yes. And
Worldwide, volunteers, no cost to them.
let me go over all the points, and then I'll let you augment. Thank you. Pauline Davis and her staff and volunteers created a network of rescue coordinators and contributors from really all over the world, including Europe, Canada, Australia. I deal with a volunteer from Australia every single week, and many parts of the United States. Okay, adoption rates are estimated at 70 to 80%. Okay, and these are published facts, by the way. 7 years ago, before the rescue efforts to save, the save rate was only 10%. That's a 90% kill, which is fairly congruent with where you came from. Now the kill rate is as low as 15%, and again, that was a published number. The workers are providing copious amounts of free labor after hours on their own time. And this is a selfless, passionate pursuit. They've engaged in fundraising. I've been part of some of that fundraising. Some of that money has come from me. They've saved more than 5,000 animals. And again, let me say in conclusion that they're very passionate about these animals.
They are.
So what, and this is in a non-attacking way, so I apologize if it comes out wrong, but I don't mean it to be attacking. But what makes you believe that the change that we're making will allow you to maintain this level of quality, meeting or exceeding the metrics that I've just stated with dispassionate inmates, for example, as is stated by Ms. Brittany Pittman, the only metric that counts is this won't affect the kill rates at all. And is that currently, or is that forever? Are we going to be heading in a positive direction to try to get it even lower to a 0 rate? So I'll sit down, but that's my question. Thank you for your attention.
We certainly want to keep the euthanasia rate as low as possible. But if hold on.
They don't know about the prisoners. I have to say that prisoners in other states are being trained. The CNI dogs from puppies, they are kept in their cells with them. And for prisoners.
That's a different program, ma'am.
We do know other counties that have employed inmates, and it's not a good situation.
There are those that are successful.
That's a different program. That's a completely different program.
When all you're picking up is adoptable animals, it's really easy to keep your euthanasia rates low. When you're not addressing the whole animal control spectrum, a lot of these dogs that are going to be coming in the shelter, the nuisance animals, have not been addressed before. So when we're out and we're trying to meet people's needs in Maury County, of course we hope that every dog we pick up is adoptable. But reality tells us different.
Will these animals be given
A
beyond,
chance? Yes.
beyond the 5-day period?
Okay, I'm responsible to Maury County taxpayers. We have to answer to them. If we get a dog in, we probably need to start networking day one with the assumption that the dog's not going to get picked up if it's a adoptable dog. We need to start contacts day one on the truck. But they have to pass some tests. We have to make sure that these are the type of dogs that are adoptable and the rescuers want them. We'll do it. We'll do it.
As part of the networking, will you provide information to the volunteers?
I do now when I work.
Pictures
Sure.
from day one? So
We'll do our best.
thank you.
We'll do our best.
Ma'am, thank you. Yeah.
I'm Laura Dawson. I'm actually a volunteer from Gordon County, so I wanted to support Murray County in this. Yeah, I know that. You guys are great. And Officer Franklin, if you recall, I worked my hardest to partner with Whitfield County, and I'm getting emotional about this because I worked so hard on that effort to partner Atlanta Pet Rescue with you 4 years ago. You transferred 20 dogs to us and then banned me from the office that day because Atlanta Pet Rescue does arguably pull a certain kind of dog. That is what they have built their brand on. You got frustrated with them because they weren't responding to you quick enough. They weren't taking the dogs that you wanted, that you felt I personally walked through the halls of Whitfield County for almost, I would say, 4 months. We were able to kind of work with you. And then you banned me from Whitfield County. So,
Let her
no,
ask the
no,
question.
this is just, and you know what, I'm sorry I'm not making sense, but I worked very hard on that partnership. I am so committed to animal welfare in this community. I respect you, and I'll tell you, if to remind you of kind of our conversation, I was tremendously impressed with your advocacy for spay-neuter. I was tremendously impressed by your advocacy for shutting down breeders. I was very, very, very impressed with that, and I applauded you for that, and I still do. I think that you have made a tremendous change in spay-neuter in Whitfield County. But on the other hand, what I experienced 4 years ago, I wanted to come here to tell everyone was awful in terms of a partnership with Rescue. Atlanta Pet Rescue is arguably one of the best, not the best, but it is one of the best rescues in the state. They fully vet before adoption. They screen homes. They have a beautiful facility now. They were led by probably one of the most ethical people in animal rescue in the country. And I feel like we worked so hard to partner with you, and to have 20 animals and you shut us down was very, very disappointing. And I fear for this community. I do. I fear for this community because you were very, very regulated on 3-day holds. That's it. If they're not out in 3 days, they're down. We would be called with the 20 that we were able to help. We would be called at like 2 o'clock on the day they were going to go down and say, you have to be here in an hour from Atlanta. And you couldn't even hold them a day. I mean, I don't want to attack you because I really respect your position on spay-neuter. I do. But I don't respect your position on rescue. I know, I have tried to work with it, and I know that you are very, very regimented and very rule-oriented, and that isn't always the most successful in rescue numbers. And I think that your euthanasia rate at Dalton, which I have been following by open records request, is really disappointing, because you cannot tell me I walked those halls like any of these rural communities. To imply that only 20% of these animals are adoptable is so disappointing, because in Gordon, at least, our experience is probably 80% are adoptable and 20% aren't. And that's the truth. That is really the truth. So if you guys are not going to be able to maintain this 80%, I really hope that you reconsider your position on your guidelines and such. But and the irony of this, and I will tell you this, is I've always held Murray County up to Gordon County as a comparison. I won't anymore, because I have never been so proud of my county and so happy to be a part of Gordon County as I am today. I am so sorry, because Pauline Davis is someone who implemented programs that I held up to Gordon County to try to emulate. And in terms of success levels, her spay-neuter program for litters that were brought in, we tried to emulate that at Gordon County. And anyway, so I'm not making any sense anymore.
Yes, you are.
Did we not provide the health facilities in Georgia?
You did, and Gordon County struggles. We just got out of a state quarantine. We've had cargo issues.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
My name's Ruth Hanks, I live in Woodville County, but I volunteer in Murray County. My question is, since the main problem appears to be use of animals and other problems, doesn't have the authority to handle. I change everything in a person that's right. Yeah, why not?
Woo, woo! You go, girl.
Things she can't do. Why can't she throw it out, you know, the baby with the bathwater. Just change everything.
Can I, real quick, you said something earlier about the license expiring. I'm not sure everybody heard that. Maybe it's important that you repeat that.
Agricultural license?
Yeah.
It was expired for a year, over a year, I believe.
And who stayed on duty for it? Is it herself?
Oh, I don't know.
Pauline?
Can you
Why
repeat?
did she found it herself? Because that's a minor oversight, there's very little fine to it. She was not fined.
I don't think it's minor.
No, I'm saying the state did not fine her anything for it, and they did not reprimand her anything for it, and she got reinstated, and it cost Murray County no damage.
As a resident of Murray County, we have a problem with people that we rent to that have dogs or have the animal control down several times. They've done nothing, and
They're still there.
they're still there. They put out traps. The trap was stolen. They were even scared. They were even scared to find somebody going to talk to the people about the dog. It's used, I think there's a lot of problems other than this. I respect them, but there's other problems that need to be addressed. I look forward to helping. Thank you.
My name's Randy Knight. I live in Spring Place. Obviously, that's Murray County. What the young lady was saying is, it goes even further than that. We have feral cats and stray dogs in my neighborhood. We have called the animal shelter many times, no response. My little dog, which I can't call it my little dog because she owns me, I don't own her. At night, when she wants out, I have to go out with her. So she's a little bitty thing, I have to protect her. I thought part of animal control was to do something about that. Am I wrong? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I have to because nobody will respond to our request.
They're too smart.
Yeah, but if you don't try, you certainly can't trap them. That's what I'm doing. Nobody has ever tried.
Traps out there.
Yeah, the ones my father-in-law and I bought.
And you still couldn't trap them.
Oh, yes, we did. We took them around the show. They wouldn't take them. No, ma'am.
Okay, we're running out of time, we've got time for a couple more questions in the back there.
Okay, my name is Beverly Hedges, and I do live in Murray County. I've got strays, all of them are spayed and neutered, cats and dogs, my horse is gilded. I totally believe in that. I know, Jay. I've got Jane is a reading buddy, she's got a Facebook, just look her up. I've rescued a Jack Russell.
Oh.
My friend passed away, 6 years ago. And then I rescued another Jack Russell that I saw on the website from Murray County Humane Society. My grandmother was passing, and Hachi was on the Humane Society website. I went the next day. They made me get spay, neuter, and shots before I took Hachi home. Hachi cost me $1,200, and Hachi passed away a week after grandmother passed away because Hachi had his temper. It doesn't matter who you are. If you've got the heart for animals, you're going to do the right thing. The funds that have been accumulated by Pauline should be accessible to Murray County taxpayers and the commissioner. So if that fund's available, then that fund needs to be, the amount needs to be known.
The funds are raised, turned into the commissioner, and then they're redistributed.
I believe that if the funds are for the Murray County Animal Shelter, every fund should come into Murray County Commissioner's office, not to